say everything and teach you everything. And another point I'm trying to make is, invest in your education, and a book is very, very helpful. So the book would just supplement. I mean, if you're trying to wing it, I don't criticize student strategies. Everybody has to do what they have to do. So, and Julie just copied the PowerPoints. So anything supplemental you do, and you do have to study. Okay, but your specific question was, but what do I study specifically? Well, one strategy is, if you're limited time-wise, is just focus on people, places, and events and their significance. What did these people contribute to history? Like with both topics that we talked about, whether it's the scientific revolution or the Enlightenment, and whether it's or the economic liberals, you can summarize all of it. What was the significance? Natural law. Natural law, a different and a new view of how the planets worked. But okay, this is not an astronomy class. Okay, so what's the big deal about it though? It introduced the idea of thinking to people, and it attracted their interest. They might not have understood everything that Copernicus said, or Kepler, or Brahe, or Newton, or Galileo, but they tried. The fact is that they were attached to what these people were writing about. And that attachment, that connection with them, made these people think, and then all of a sudden you had these other people who followed, like Bacon, and even Hobbes, and Descartes, and Immanuel Kant, or David Hume, and they were saying, okay, we're not astronomers, we're philosophers, and we deal with people's reaction to astronomy. In other words, we watched all these people, and they're all focused. They might not be understanding, but their brain is thinking, and we call it human reason. And then here comes all the philosophers, and they're saying, yeah, now that people can think, and they have an interest in astronomy, and they have human reason, maybe we can say to them, okay, pick up the newspaper and read about your king, and see what a poor ruler he is. Or look at the economics that we have to deal with. See, so the result of all of that was, you can summarize it, the natural law applies to everything. God created the universe, and we have the Bible, but wait a minute, the Bible doesn't tell us the astronomical function of the universe. And the Bible doesn't tell us, it talks about how people should behave, but human reason or natural law tells us why people behave the way they do. And the Bible doesn't tell us, certainly Jesus said something about render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, but that kind of turns off the philosophers, because they say, wait, I don't like Caesar though. So you mean I'm stuck with him? And the philosophers say no. Now, but we have to qualify the philosophers. Voltaire and Hobbes, for example, said you're stuck with him. Okay? You don't have a choice, because Hobbes would say, and even Voltaire would say, people are just unruly. They need a powerful government to keep peaceful society peaceful, and that people aren't attacking or waging war against one another. But then Locke would say people have human reasons, so they'll sort out their problems. And then Rousseau would say people acquire liberty from government and government oppression by being in a contract with one another. There is no, like Rousseau is a little bit odd, because he would say that the individuality is not a safe strategy, because you're not going to have liberty by fighting for it all by yourself. You need going to be attached to the rest of society, because society as a whole has power against the authority of government. And then Montesquieu said, yeah, and you separate the powers of government, prevents tyranny. And then you get the physiocrats, they say, government should stay out of the economy, and the economy should function all by itself. So, but, I'm doing two things here, answering your question further. The significance of all this is, it leads to a different, this was the title to a book that we're going to be studying shortly. But both of these subjects presented a new, you can write this down and put it in your answer if you want. It just led to a new view of society. It led to a new view of society. New view as far as cosmology, a new view as far as human society, a new view as how people function or they have, because they have human reason, a new view of society as far as government, what its powers should be and should not be, a new view of society as far as economics is concerned. And also in your book, a new view of society on medicine and the human body. Okay, is that helping too?
No, yeah, it makes sense now.
See, and that's how we'll do this course. You're not, this way you know what you have to write down and what you have to study. And I don't pull any tricks. I mean, and then the week before, I'll give you an idea. I try to come up with the exam, like the week before, and we'll come up with essay questions. But I don't want to keep throwing questions at you because, to me, that gets people stressed, and they're not learning when they're stressed. Because I gave you a quiz question tonight. Maybe next week I'll start, maybe we can, put together, like one of my favorite questions on the scientific revolution is, and it's kind of similar to the quiz question, so I don't even want to mention it right now because it'll just, I don't even want to do that right now. And maybe I'll skip it. We'll make up an essay question on our subject coming up now. Okay, because I want to give you time to work on the essay questions too. Okay, so anyway, forget the questions. But yes.
And that question you gave us, I don't know if you said this or not because my mind kind of wandered.
Okay.
When would that be due? By next week? Okay.
Yeah. We're not going to do any quizzes in class. I just don't, I'll give you a question and I'll say, this is a quiz question. Go home and answer it, hand it in next week. And I always want the quiz question, if it's more than one line, single space the question so I can distinguish it from your answer, and then double space the answer. Okay? Typed out. And how much, again, is up to you. Your answer is not going to be based on how much. It's how, and this rule goes for your essays too.
How specific.
But I think I made a rule on the essays. Like if I gave you 3 essays, then it's a page and a half answer, and then if it's only 2 essays, then it has to be 2 full pages. But in the case of a quiz, but in both cases, substance is what matters. I always like to tell the story. It's been a couple of years, but I got an essay answer from a test, a couple essay answers from the student, and he was good. But I'm looking at these essays, and I didn't even read them completely. I was just eyeballing them, and boy, this guy's dead. His answers were like a little bit more than a paragraph in length. And I said, boy, I don't know. So anyway, I put it aside and I corrected, and I got to his, and I corrected his objective, and then I looked at his essay. He had a home run on every one of them. He was just good. He was that good. He knew how to get to the point in a brief way, but a very substantial way. He said it all, and I'm saying, even if I tried to pick this apart, I can't. What else can I say that he could have said? Nothing. He said it all. Sorry about that. He said it all, and I don't want to get into these arguments because once in a while they happen. I give out a test and I hand it back, and then all of a sudden, okay, class is over. I got 5 people standing here in line. I'm in trouble. They're all going to yell at me because I took points off their essay. Now, I'm the last one. It's in my syllabus. I'm the one who says whether or not, and why you lost the points. But I mean, I'm not saying that you can't come up to me and say, look, because you have that right too. Okay, what did you want me to say here? That's right. What did you want me to say here? Now, I'll write down what I wanted you to say, and then I'll get a student. Yeah, but I said it right here. Okay, I'll say you might have said it, but it wasn't either clear enough, or it wasn't specific enough. I might give you a couple points back, but that's where it's going to be your responsibility to just make sure, like in these essays, you're specific with your answer. And And you know, that's not a definition issue. We all know what specific means, you know, and substantial, I use that word to mean, you know, it kind of means something specific too, but like, you know, can I have a picture in my mind of what you're saying? Okay. So, you know, I'm always very helpful with any of the assignments that I give out. Okay. Okay, so did I answer your question too? Okay, all right. We got that quiz issue. But before I forget, I want you to make note of this, that I know it's way in the future, but our final is supposed to be on May the 4th.